questions I get asked.
Anybody like to speak to the board tonight, please come up and sign our sign-in sheet. I want everybody to bear with me tonight. I've been fighting an upper respiratory infection all week. Finally went to the doctor today. I got out there at 2 o'clock and did a whole barrage of tests, find out what it was. Fortunately, it's not COVID and all that stuff, but they ruled everything out, but put me on steroids, so guys might want to keep a little distance from me. Know what steroids do? I know what athletes take. I don't know.
It's prednisone, Nelson, it's short. It's
No,
to
I'll be
clear up your upper
mild mannered
clear up
self.
your lungs.
Everybody signed up? Wonderful. Call to order, roll call. I see we're all here. Pledge of allegiance. I gotta figure out this here.
You're fine, calm down.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excuse me. Moment of silence, please. Oh, sorry. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
First thing on the agenda is the adoption of December 10th, 2025 meeting minutes. I read them. They look good to me, Don.
Looks good to me as well.
That motion to accept the meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 3-0. Larry, trustee.
Okay, the only thing I have to really report is today, we signed the last check on one of our loans. So there's only one loan remaining, one payment. As soon as we receive that invoice, we will get the check signed and be debt free. We, our PIO officer, I already told him we're gonna make a big deal out of it. I mean, it's been 28 years since Madison Township's been out of debt, and we'll make a big deal out of it. You guys may have to come in for the signing, quite frankly. I'm serious. We want to make it it is a big deal, so.
What's your last payment on? Is it the
On
ladder
on the
truck?
ladder truck.
Cool,
So
We're just waiting actually to get the invoice from the bank.
cool.
I'm sorry, I spoke to, yesterday, a couple folks from Medville stopped by, and I talked to them, and they said that us being out of debt, or any township being out of debt for that matter, was a big deal. And they get around to all the places in Morgan County, so we're gonna make a big deal out of it. That's all I've got.
I like a big deal.
Yeah.
It's good.
Do you have anything for the fire chief reports, Mr. Gephardt?
Chief wanted me to pass along. He kind of reviewed everything. He's on duty tonight, so he wanted me to pass it along. He did see everything. He did want to point out that there are some vacation days, sick days being lost with the new resolution. One thing that he wanted me to also touch on is you guys have your 7.390 hours. The software doesn't let us break it down that way. It only lets us break it down in half increments. So he wanted me to point that out so that way that could be.
That's been resolved.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a change on this thing.
We're moving along in the process for the community paramedicine program. So hopefully next month we'll have another big thing for you.
Thank you. Tina?
I don't have a report.
All right. Don, do you have anything for board review of orders and payments? All right, 2026 resolution of benefits. I don't know, all you people have read them? Or not? But, I don't know. Nancy, I know you've looked at them. I haven't even read them really.
I haven't had time to read. Are you guys going to discuss it among yourselves first?
Do what?
Are you going to discuss the,
Yeah, I was just checking to see, Greg, you didn't sign up, you don't want to speak? Okay. Yeah, oh, well, I think we're okay then, not without me reading them all. Nancy, you signed up first. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the board about, our 2026 benefits package?
give me a minute, I don't think so.
Okay,
I've read most of it.
yeah.
I don't know the wrong thing.
Trudy?
I just want to say, I think they're generous, but reasonable. We're a small township here, and so I think we're giving quite a few benefits. And I do think that one of the things that was wanted was benefits issue, especially vacation time issued per pay instead of all at the beginning, and that looks like what we're getting, which I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
And so.
Thank you, Trudy. Matthew, you have anything to say about them?
No, I've had time to review.
Don?
I was kind of looking today because, I kind of wondered, it's been a while since I've actually worked a full-time job and got benefits. So I just kind of did an average in looking into sick days and things where most are getting like between 8 to 10 days vacation or for sick leave. But most of those are only 8-hour days where we're paying 24 hours. And so I do think ours is really, really generous for sick time. Vacation, I mean, it's all in perspective, but I just want people to realize that I do think we do very well on our benefits.
I'd like to say one thing about the benefits, and that is, there was a lot of discussion about benefits previously. There were some things that were suggested to put into the benefit package as far as wording and so forth.
Right.
And I appreciate the input. And what we did is we went ahead and we contacted our attorney, ran everything past him, sent him a copy of everything. And he made a couple suggestions. We incorporated them in here so that going forward from now on, the wording should be precise, accurate, and the only thing we should have to change in any future, if we so desire, is the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to prorate. If you haven't earned it, you don't take it.
Mhm.
So there's two places where we don't have hours earned per pay, broken down into an hour amount or half an hour amount. That would be under 6 to 10 years. It says 7.39. Should that be changed to 7.0 or 7.5?
Because you're saying what he said about the software.
Yes. Is that what
I
you're saying?
would inquire as to, can you get the software changed? Is that something that Tom's or whatever
It's
can't
not
change?
Tom's, it's-
Because
This
my
is-
daughter
ESO.
works in software. She does
yes.
this all day long.
It's ESO that we
Okay.
utilize, so
I would ask them, before we go and change our rates to accommodate them, I think they need to accommodate us. They need to change the rates for us.
Larry, did I hear that this might have been addressed, or was that something else?
Because
Oh,
He said it was
my
addressed.
daughter
Two
works in
addresses. Now,
benefits,
the only one that looks
all
like
day
it's
long.
being called,
and ESO should be
There's
able
two
to
places.
customize that for you.
Where's that at in here?
okay, there's,
She was saying.
Under
on
line 5.
The very
6 to
bottom
10
of page
years.
1?
Yeah, 7.39, and then top of the next page, it's 9.2 hours.
I would not change it. I think they need to change for us because that's what it is. That's what we're paying. That's what we're offering. And I think they should be able to customize that for him.
can I make a suggestion? Can we have them check with ESO? And if ESO will not accommodate us, then come back and amend it so that it is
Align.
aligned?
Yeah, I mean,
I think they
I,
already talked to ESO, didn't you?
I haven't, unless.
I
she
thought
has.
Steve said he had talked to him about it.
I don't know if he's talked to him, but I haven't.
I can't
I
even get
can find
ESO to not stop and kick me out every time I'm working on payroll. Like every 5 employees, it kicks me out. And they said that's just the way it works. That's
well,
their
that's
answer.
not very accommodating, is it?
No, it's not, but,
For what we pay them.
Well,
so I would not hold my breath that they would make a change, but
well, I think it's worth asking and going up the chain of
I'll
command to get it done.
review as well, make sure whatever Stevie has found out, I'll double check as well and see what I can find out, and also make sure that making any changes like that, they're not gonna charge us, because,
I don't care if they charge us, but
well, some of those companies, when you wanna do stuff like that, you're talking thousands of dollars, so.
well, I don't know. You know, I'm just saying, if they're customer service oriented, they should accommodate their clients.
Sounds like they're software sales oriented and not so much customer.
I don't know, but it needs to be
But-
brought to their attention if not.
I
Larry, you
think,
sent out an email about, earned sick hours. You were using figures of, 106 and 240. What'd that refer to? I didn't see that anywhere.
Total, on line 4, your total hours of sick time.
It says, 36 hours every 4 months for a total of 144 a year.
30.
If you go to,
Every 4
if you go to
hours,
30,
4
it
months.
ends up to being 120. If you go to 36,
That doesn't add up. I know.
Now, you asked about if we preferred 106 or 240,
no, that was,
what it was. I couldn't
was-
find those figures.
last year was 240. You could accumulate 240 hours. of
Okay.
sick time.
That's a mistake.
Okay,
36 hours every 4 months.
30 hours. For number 4,
Says 36 hours.
For 100, yeah.
it's 108.
It did say.
I think it did say
It did say 30. but
30.
mine has
It's been
30.
changed,
it
and
is.
so
Yeah,
it's
it was 30.
It's 108.
108 hours for the year, not 140.
Okay, well, we can make that correction.
Okay, so it's supposed to be 36 hours every 4 months?
The last one was 30.
It was.
Did you up that?
I did up it, yes.
Okay, so now it's 36,
That's entirely up to you guys, but that's.
And
how I
awarded.
did it.
Well, then it is 100 and.
3 times.
You
3
guys
times
have-
144 is,
Yeah,
or 36 is 144.
that's 100.
That's right. That's right.
If
Master.
we left it, if we left it at 30, then it would be,
I saw the 4 months.
if it
and I
was 30, then it would be 120.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
108.
Does yours have 36 on it?
Yeah, mine does.
Mine's got 30.
Well, you should have 36 because we passed out all the new ones.
Did you get the new copy?
It was with these documents,
Okay.
sorry. I don't care, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
fine.
That's what,
Unless I slipped you one of mine, I'll draw a stack of stuff. I don't know.
No.
Well,
The older
this is-
version had 30 in it.
It's fine.
Mine says 36.
the question is, are you guys, what are you guys good with on that line?
What are we, what?
good with.
What do you, is that acceptable, I guess, is what I'm saying?
Between what?
What we have here, 36 and 144, is that
No,
acceptable?
108, right?
108.
36 times
36
4
times.
12 months.
is
So you
144
have to take
hours.
that times 3.
Every
Divide
4 months,
by-
times 3. You're
36
correct.
times 3.
So
is
his-
100.
36 every
times
4
3 is
months.
108.
Yes, you are correct. I had that figured at one time.
It's every
that
4
way.
months, so 3 times.
So 108,
Did you understand?
Huh?
Do you have your hearing aids?
I told you guys I'm having problems.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, on number 4, it's 36 hours every 4 months. So that's January, May, and September, that's 3.
3.
So-
Yeah.
36 times 3 is 108.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
it was
I
144.
multiplied by
That's
4
times
accidentally.
4.
Oh, I
36
did 4
Yeah, so,
every 4, never mind.
Simple math.
I'm telling you guys, I shouldn't even be here. That's the truth.
sorry.
I know, had a rough week.
let's get it
Okay.
over with.
So we just correct that and pencil it
Yes, initially,
to 108.
if that's what you want to do.
For the year.
I don't want to use my copy. We
It
got
was
an
30,
extra
we
copy.
moved to 36.
It doesn't matter.
Last year it was
I'm
36.
marking mine.
Okay.
there.
And then we sent out a copy of
Well-
30, but we moved it
The
back up to
version
30.
last
Got it.
week had 30
Got
in it.
Okay, got it.
The only difference was last year they were
Yeah,
able
sure.
to accumulate up to 240 hours.
I have to borrow your opinion. That's what happened.
That's
to me.
I see now.
So there's no carrying over sick time to the next year? What do we do with the hours I have this year that accumulated? Are we carrying those
Well,
over?
I think we're all three.
It says
Yeah,
it's carrying
yeah.
over.
Well, if it's in that
Yeah,
resolution,
fine.
we'll have to carry.
Well,
it.
no, we haven't proved it.
So let's hold on to
I told
that.
you I don't have any business being here.
Then,
Are you saying
We'll
going
sign one
forward,
more.
we're
Tell you I got
carrying over sick time?
Upper respiratory infection.
Up
I
to
haven't
the
slept
240
like
hours?
4 or 5 days.
No
because I
unused
I've
sick
just
time
been
is carried over.
coughing and
For
to
26.
the point I
Well,
got
But
headaches.
she's asking about it.
rest up
Oh,
So I
for the
was
okay.
doctor all
holiday.
day today and got out of there at 2
Yeah,
We'll have to
o'clock,
carry
had all
It
this
was
stuff.
in
Hadn't
last
read any of
year's
that.
Because that's in the
resolution.
resolution.
I'm just client store, so I'm
Do you,
Hey.
do you need that, or do you want to clarify,
Thanks for being
Tina?
here.
not great
What?
tonight.
You were questioning carryover for 25.
Well, the 25 resolution, which I don't have here, I don't believe.
Well, I can pull it up off the township website.
It does have that thing that they can only carry over 240.
They can
I don't think
They
accumulate.
only get to
Accumulate
carry over
240.
so much.
I didn't
It's
think
not
we
the
had
whole
that in
amount.
last year.
Last year they could accumulate 240.
But the carryover was what?
240 was what
I
you
don't-
could, you can't get more than
I
200.
thought this was last year's. I brought it.
Okay, what does it say?
I can go get last year's from my office. I just don't have it with me
I
here.
took one sick day in 32 years at Ameritech.
You
broke
with a
a leg.
broken leg,
That's when I
right?
had a broken leg. Next day I had my foot propped up on a desk and on my computer.
You would have,
Well, my husband had a kidney transplant. He was out of work for a month and you couldn't really control that. So things do happen and people need time off when they're sick.
Does anybody,
I think he was just trying to be funny about himself.
well, besides that, I forgot to make this
That's only
clear.
4.5 days.
I forgot to make this clear. This is a board discussion, not for residents, clerk, anybody. If we need,
Nelson, I have a history.
I am
know
not
I don't
doing
care.
this.
This is
You're not
decision
doing
making.
this.
Don't get involved in, you're not an
No,
elected official. You're not
It's gotta
allowed to
stop.
get, I'm not being mean to you, Tina. It's not personal. It's wrong. And they've done it wrong here for years. I'm trying to right the ship. If trustee needs to get numbers, details from you, by all means, give them to him, but don't engage the board and in decision making. That's our job and it's wrong for us to let Greg or Nancy or you or anybody and do that.
Well, Nancy was just conversing back and forth with you.
I don't think she was negotiating terms in there. It was just she was clarifying. Our math.
It won't happen again. It won't happen again.
All right, well,
That's the end of that.
okay, I'll
Okay.
I'll hold it tight. It's for everybody.
Okay, here's
Not
why,
trying to be mean, I swear.
let me, here's why we had to do clarification, because listen to this. Full-time employees, this is last year, full-time employees will earn 36 hours of sick time every 4 months. A maximum of 240 hours can be banked. Now, you can bank 240 hours, but when do you use it? There's nothing in here that says when you can use it, if you can pull it forward to the next year or have to use it the whole year. So that's why we've gone to a clarification. We got the attorney involved and got input from our board members. Because if you read this, what you accrued 240 hours, but now what?
Well, if you have a major illness, then you use it when you get
That's
sick.
that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, it's for a major illness. I get that, but what time period do you have to use it? Within this year?
I
Or
would
does it
think
get
within
carried
that year,
forward?
within the year. I mean, if you're gonna bank it, you're talking in going
Yeah,
into
you
the
can-
next year,
But you can
correct?
interpret that two ways. See what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is, you can interpret this two ways, and that's what we're trying to stop. So you can't interpret it two different ways.
I agree.
But it should be, is
So
this in
in the
lieu of the
past-
policy?
I'm sorry?
This gonna be the policy that's embedded in the resolution, so in place of a policy that's in here,
What some of the
is there gonna
some
be
of
a
it is
policy in
in here,
addition to
and
this?
there will also be policies
Okay.
in addition to, yes.
I think that's a good idea for everything. There's just
What we're,
so much ambiguity about everything.
what we're finding is a lot of the policies or lack of policies are not definitive. They're very vague. And we need to drill down and make them specific. We need to get rid of the loopholes.
They gotta be foolproof, period.
I would think that it would have to be used within the following year. I don't, that is my assumption.
Well, Steve's not here to talk about this, but last week, he said that the old policy says 750 hours banked. And since
From 2016, correct?
I don't know what policy it is, I don't have a copy of.
Well,
the-
I know we're changing policies.
But my point is, since Larry has been trustee, we had an employee who had a back surgery. He was out for 3 or 4 weeks and he had a lot of time banked. He got paid sick time for that period. Not this year, not last year. I don't think it was last year. Was it last year? No. It was the first year that Larry was trustee.
Where's it
right?
say how much they
So-
carry over?
But we also,
I have never known a company to allow it to go beyond 12 months into that next year. Me personally,
Where's it say they can carry it over?
that's what, it's not. It's
Doesn't
not in
say it
this.
here. It
Right.
said it last year.
it said it could be banked. Now, once it's banked, how long the time do you have to use it is not answered. That is a problem. It's not answered.
In my mind, that once you hit 240, you're not accruing any more sick time because that's your max.
So I would think
But then if I had an illness on December 30th and I am going into January 7th or something, like I wouldn't want to lose all my sick time. I think that you just 240 just carries over until,
I don't think so.
I mean,
I would rather see a deadline on it. I don't want it open-ended for somebody to carry forward for years and years. I don't think that.
in addition to not carrying it forward, the other thing that we have instituted, and we have a policy for it, a written policy for it, we have light duty policy now. So if you break a leg or whatever, let's say you have back surgery even. If you run out of sick time, vacation time, personal time, then we put you on light duty. When you go on light duty, you work 40 hours a week, that's it.
What are you doing on light duty in a for a fire
Oh,
service?
there's lots of things to be done.
I would be curious to know
There are
that.
lots of things to be done. There's filing to be done. There's spreadsheets to be made. There's painting, but there's all sorts of things. When one person was on light duty, he was fixing doors. I mean, it's,
so
well,
wouldn't it be
Can't-
108 hours
if you get
max
the
then
50
if they couldn't
pounds,
carry it
still-
over?
You can't live.
If you can only accrue 108, then you can't carry it over,
Well,
then it would
she's
max
talking
then.
about from the previous year, it was 240.
Right,
Other
but
thing
I'm saying
is-
with your path.
As a business,
Yeah.
we don't have any kind of short-term disability option for our employees. So some businesses that, if you're going to go beyond your sick time, then you have to go on short-term disability. We don't have a policy that we offer to employees for that,
And it,
or that we pay for.
Maybe
And they,
that's something, an insurance policy or something they need to take out, like Aflac or something.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of companies don't offer short-term disability or long-term, especially if you're an office person, but it is what it is. We can't answer for every possibility.
and I've not priced it, but I could only imagine in the fire industry that short-term or long-term disability would be rather expensive
I don't know.
because of the nature of the work.
I don't know.
Well, the way it's written, it's just tells what they accrue. It says nothing about if they ever lose it or not. That's the way it's written.
so I assume
That can go on forever, the way it's written.
there's no separate policy other than this, or is there?
I haven't looked to see if
We
there
don't
is a
know.
separate, there may be,
There
I'm
may be.
going through the policy and procedure manual now myself.
I mean, the first part, number 4, just states the rate at which they're gonna earn sick. That's all that does. Then
Further back.
we talk about things like that, what increments that can take them in and that kind of thing. How it affects overtime and different things.
Okay, so.
He's
if you read
eligible
on-
after a certain amount of time here.
Okay.
We don't give it to him day one. At termination of employment, there is no payment for unused sick time. And no unused sick time is carried forward to the next year.
Go to the triple asterisk.
On the last page.
On the
I can have that.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Not where?
Turn it, flip your page over, right here.
Another page I didn't see. I told you I'm not right. The other problem I'm having is my vision from all this coughing that's straining my eyes. I can't hardly read.
Sorry.
Okay, that talks about personal time. Personal time cannot be carried forward. I thought it was sick time, I apologize. Okay, sick time and personal, sick time needs to be scheduled.
Where's it saying here about,
He's,
that's
I think,
personal time?
yeah, I think he thought it was going to.
Yeah, I thought it
address
was,
But it doesn't.
because when it
Sick
talks about sick
time.
time, it's not saying when it's,
Okay, down here it says sick time. Let me see what that says. Let's see. Sick time, personal time would be.
okay, no unused sick time and no unused sick time is carried forward to the next year. At determination of employment, there's no payment for unused sick time, and no unused sick time is carried forward to the next year. Those probably should have been two separate sentences, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So the way that last sentence reads in that
So you're
first
not carrying it
asterisk
forward.
is that it's not carrying forward. However, they're not separated into two
Yeah, and
sentences.
they should be. 'Cause
Okay,
So
so
there
we're
was-
gonna do a period after time and cross out and then capitalize the N
What you're doing, you do it
for no
now, you-
unused sick time is carried forward to the next year.
Which at that means that there would not be a cap at 200 plus. It would only be the amount of time you could accrue during the year.
Correct. Now, the other caveat to the whole thing is this policy can be overridden. It would take, let's say we had someone who was extremely sick and maybe they had cancer, for example, and it was a valuable employee. Then we would come to the board and say, look, we've got this individual, great individual, they plan on coming back and maybe get an extension on their sick time. Because we don't want to leave any of our employees out in the cold, so to say. We want to take care of our employees as much as we can. But we've got to actually limit it on a general basis, we got to limit it, but there may be exceptions to the case. And then we would come to the board and say, hey, we've got an exception we'd like you to consider.
I like that. Yeah, I'll read. Okay.
And let me add one other thing to that. It would not be open-ended. In other words, it wouldn't be just keep going and going. We would set time out.
Yeah, I prefer that.
There was another company came in, like Aflac. They just started, they signed up in November and it just went into effect December.
Initial those changes.
Employees are able to sign up for their own, pay for their own coverage of certain things. Short-term disability maybe have been one of them. I wasn't part of the discussion of that.
Well, it's
But they have
something,
an option to purchase other things now. So outside of health insurance.
Please, please.
Well, you mentioned, Don, that they should get something like Aflac or
Right.
something.
You initial it. Anything else, board members?
So at this point, we're considering no carryover sick time.
That's what it says.
Okay.
Got a motion to accept this resolution with the changes written in.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay.
Is it 3-0? Matt, were you okay?
He's done
I'm
good.
good. Yeah, I'm good.
Aye or nay?
Oh, sorry, apologize. I did it.
Motion
I
I
got
did
to
it.
make sure.
Motion
Yeah,
passed,
I'm sorry. I know I wasn't clear. Thank you.
Just want to make sure.
No, I appreciate that. Thank
Can you
you.
like get another one
I
going?
didn't
I
hear
didn't
you,
keep up
man,
all the
sorry.
changes.
No, I wasn't. You're right. I was thinking, but I wasn't clear out loud.
I didn't make
Thank
all
you
the
for the
changes.
time.
Let them make it.
Yeah, that's no sense.
Yeah.
Take as much time as you need.
108,
Oh, then sign that one,
144.
sign that one.
I'll sign it. I'll just make it
Yeah.
sign both of them and go through.
Okay.
Awesome. Make it better.
It's ours, it's 108. Today's the 17th, right? Okay. I'll have you sign those and initial those again.
Alrighty.
And then Matthew needs to sign this one. Yeah, you still need to sign that one though too. Nelson. Did you sign it?
You did.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind.
It's on it.
I don't know
He
if I did or
is.
not. I was asking, you got the shower tonight, I realized I had my hearing aids in, I gave them Nancy, I said, get these out of the shower, and then later I
Try
was looking for my hearing aids, I said, where's my hearing aids? She went nuts, so, cause she thought they went down the sink or something, I had them in,
You can hold on to
I
that.
should've realized I could hear.
That I could hear.
But I mean, I'm just,
Thank you.
not having slept in 3 days,
Oh, I know. Listen, I'm telling you, I was living on NyQuil.
pumped up with stuff.
Okay.
All right, that brings us to, the 2026 salary resolution, State Board of Accounts Form number 17. We, before I have the audience comments, I just like to say that, the board passed a resolution for this last week on the 10th. And so Larry, I think it's important to tell the board and the audience why you're presenting us with yet a new salary resolution for 2026. Just your own words.
In a nutshell, a miscalculation was made. And in order to rectify that miscalculation that we have had for 3 years, we need to make it right to our employees. Right now, we have a crew. It's a young crew, but they are doing their job. Our EMS are doing their job. Right now, we probably have the best EMS service in the county. The last several fires that we have gone to or had mutual assist with, or even our own fires, we've had the most firemen there. Now, and I use this as an example. Last time we had a fire recently, there were 15 firefighters. 6 of those were ours. The others were from 4 or 5 departments total for the rest.
So is it being presented because there was miscalculation, or you think they should be paid more?
A combination of both. I
Okay,
think they deserve a little bit of a raise.
yeah,
I
could
think
you
the
say what the
miscalculation is-
miscalculation was, just so for the benefit of everybody?
The biggest part of it is, last year, from 2023 till this current year, we were paying a salary. A salary can consist of the 212, or let me use a year, 2,756 hours of regular time. That's where your salary comes from, unless you're adding in the overtime as part of the salary, which is additional 156 hours, I believe, times time and a half. You can also calculate it so that it is the regular time, the 2,756 hours, plus the overtime. We were under the assumption we were doing the first one, not the second one. Therefore, the firefighters were getting paid more than what we thought they were getting paid. So we've been paying them more than we thought we were paying them. And at this point, with the group that we have no turnover, basically. We have a good camaraderie in our fire department. The guys are doing their job, although there's always room for improvement for everything. And in order to keep a stable ship, if you will, and to protect our community, this is what we would like to do.
So you think the salary that we gave them is based on 2,756 hours, not 2,912?
Correct.
Okay. I have a rebuttal to that, but I don't think this is the right place to do it. And I think based on that, we gotta let the people speak, then the board will have their discussion. I'll say what I need to say about that at the time. Okay, first on the list, Nancy,
Can
do
I
you
just
have
make
anything
one
to say
comment,
about it?
please?
Hold it. No,
It's not
this is a
about it.
board discussion.
There's a mistake on here about longevity.
This is a board discussion. Board will discuss this.
I want to turn this so I can speak to the board. Well, I can still move and speak. Okay. Some comments in general. The salary resolution is a form showing a number of positions and rates, but no defining information that documents the policies. Policies are needed to state the specific details of the lines in the resolution, which are open to interpretation. For example, the fire chief part-time, deputy chief part-time. What are their duties? What are their hours? What are they required to work in a week? For 2025, the annual salary of $55,125 should have been broken down into regular pay and FLSA, and it should have been documented. My chief complaint here is when you're given a salary resolution, you should have policies along with that to explain everything. Indiana Code 36-8-4-9 states that a member may not be on duty more than 24 consecutive hours and must be off duty at least 24 consecutive hours of any 48-hour period. This is the law. The AFR through November 2025 shows one full-time firefighter had already made over $70,000. How is that possible?
I agree.
Regarding stipends, how are they paid? Lump sum, added to hourly rate, etc. It's probably a simple thing, but it should be defined. Regarding longevity, a policy should show how the service is calculated. For example, it needs to be stated clearly. Longevity should be based on, for example, longevity should be based on a full-time firefighter's consecutive years of service with Madison Township, Morgan County. Note, of the full-time firefighters at Madison Township as of October 2025, 2 have been full-time since 2023. I don't know of anyone who has more longevity than that. One of those was in April of 2023 and one in August. All others have less longevity. The policy should include the payment structure, showing how and when longevity is paid. The board approved the salary resolution without a policy that clearly documents the full aspect of the resolution. I think the board needs documentation to fully understand what they are approving. Why would you want to approve another salary resolution today without accompanying documentation? You are setting a precedent on how Madison Township Board will function. I want the Madison Township Board to operate effectively through documented policies. I'm asking you not to approve the salary resolution due to lack of written policy.
Thank you,
Thank
Nancy. Trudy, would you like to speak?
I just want to say, I think it was a fair and honest oversight. Unfortunately, it happened. Concerning the longevity, I specifically asked the fire chief, who has been here the longest, and virtually we have 3 that will have really only 1 year of longevity as of January 1 at our station. They were all hired in 2024. So, thank you.
Thank you, Trudy. Board discussion. Matthew, you have anything you'd like to say about it?
Yeah, I'd like to know what's wrong with longevity. I mean, the numbers add up, but I'm not, talking to you specifically. I heard the clerk bring up that there was an issue. I'm not gonna ask clerk directly, but when the 20 times 219 did add up, I'm not sure what else.
Well, it's a couple things. Number one, 2023, the longevity was $100. And,
No, it wasn't. You were not allowed to lower longevity. The 4380 was what was inherited from 2022. And we haven't upped longevity since I've been
let me
here.
get the salary resolution from 2022. I'm gonna do this, Tina, and this is the last time. I want you,
I don't know what they paid in
Get me in the
2022. All I
negotiations
know
here.
is it was set at
I'm allowed to
4380
speak to my
from
board members
2022.
without interruption, and I'm not gonna put up with it. Uh,
I mean, no disrespect or disruption for
And
bringing that
also-
up.
Here it is,
In
here it is, here's
2022,
what we
There
signed
was a
in
lot of service
January
hours.
2nd, 2023. Longevity, full-time, maximum 20 years, $100.
Is there a 4380 number on there somewhere?
No. The 4380 number came from Jeff Wilson, illegally used his 20 years of service. I verified this with INPRS. They told me that was illegal for a fire chief to use it. It has to be a first-class fireman. At the time, we only had a fireman with 8 years service. Should have been 8. So for 3 years, we have been overpaying into PERF for every full-time firefighter we've had to a significant amount of money. Now that's from INPRS. If you want to argue, call them and talk to them about that. They said there is an appeal process. It stands. Once they have a number, whether it be salary, we don't lower it. They keep it because it messes up their funding for future payments. So if we got all new firemen and paid them $40,000, we could not lower our base amount for the 77 fund. It stays that way until we have a firefighter making more than that. That plus his longevity. So we're using $4,380 of longevity money for every firefighter we have based on Jeff Wilson's 20 years. And it's also supposed to be a decision of the local fire department, whether we use service with our fire department or a firefighter who has service with other fire departments. So we never made that decision. I don't know who had the right to make that decision. I don't know if it was Larry or if it should have been the board. Don't know.
I can tell you who's supposed to make that decision.
Who?
The pension board.
Okay. Well, at any rate, it's illegal for them to use Jeff's, and they should have used 8 years. And it can be fixed, but there's a process and you can appeal it. My opinion is you won't be successful because they get money, they want more money, but you could try, it's worth trying. Okay, so that answers the longevity. Then in 2024, Larry gave us, I didn't notice this till today, that's when we jumped to $219 for each year of service. It doesn't affect the pension plan. It's just how much we pay our guys for each year of service they have with us. So, okay, board's going to discuss this now. I don't want any interruptions because I'm having a difficult time with all my problems I'm having.
I would like to make a comment when you're done, though.
Pardon
When
me?
you're done with your discussion, I would like to make a comment.
Pardon me?
When you're done with your discussion, I'd like to make a comment.
You can enter in. This is board and trustee. You can,
You guys go ahead and I'll pull up the rear.
well, listen, and then
Yeah,
if
that's what I
something
said, go
you
ahead.
disagree with. Okay. First of all, I'd like to say that we talked about policies and all that. The lack of policies has caused all this ambiguity and I know early on, and it's not just my memory. I have memory. Some people were probably in that audience. Can't speak, Greg, you can speak, Don. You were in the audience, but
Right.
Jeff Wilson, he talked about, he defined, and I've got documents here where he proven, what was said, but there's a whole lot more I haven't dug out because it's going to take a lot of time, and I don't know if it'll come to that. We'll have our board decision and see what the vote is. But at any rate, it's clearly stated that our firefighters at Madison Township work 2,912 hours a year, okay? And that's what they're paid for. When he introduced the salary, he said, we're introducing a salary because firefighters like to have a consistent equal pay throughout the year. You can look at every AFR, and that has never happened in 3 years. They're all over the place. So that part's not working. He said, he made a statement, there would be no overtime. And some of this is documented in meeting minutes, and we certainly have all the video. But said there'd be no overtime because it's included in their salary. Now, I did a lot of research. Some of it, it's just someone high up, and there's all these firefighting organizations, and they write an article, but they were all consistent. So when I saw this one, I'll read you. The guy talks about that. He says most fire departments all across the United States do it the same way. It's 2912. If they have a salary, it's for 2,912 hours and includes their regular pay and overtime. The FLSA, the the Fair Labor Standards Act has specifications for when an employer, any employer, must pay overtime. And that's all that is. They defined our work as 56 hours a week on average, and that averages out to 2,916. Now, they have, FLSA says, they made a provision in that to say that any fireman, and this applies to police and stuff too, but firemen's work more. First of all, fire departments get to choose their pay cycle. We have 28 days, well documented. So for ours, it's if a fireman works over 212 hours in a 28-day period, we must pay him overtime for those hours over. Now, they work short shifts, long shifts throughout the year. And when they work a short shift, they work 4 hours overtime. That's just the number of scheduled days they have. Comes out to their 212, comes out to 216 hours. So they are entitled to 4 hours of overtime. The long shift, they have a whole other shift. They have 24 plus 4, that's 28 hours overtime we owe them. That is supposed to be incorporated into the salary, and when you add those together, the regular pay and the overtime, it comes up to the salary that we set for them. It can be done differently. You can use 2,756 hours, but this thing I'll read you. The guy says, if you're going to do that, make sure you have your lawyer involved and it's well documented, because it's not the norm. The norm is if you're going to pay them a salary to get that equal payments, you're saying, yeah, we know your overtime's in there, so you come. I've got it on a spreadsheet. I can show you. It makes sense. And then what should have happened was you would look at that figure derived from what that salary determines is the regular rate times their 2,756 hours. That becomes their base pay, and then their overtime rate, time and a half, times the 156 hours will be their overtime amount. It's all in that salary, even though they may not actually qualify for overtime on every one of those 456 hours if they take vacation and so forth. But that makes a nice salary, and that works. So what's been going on here is they're taking 2,756 hours into this salary that the board approved. Now, I got the resolutions. When we set the salary, here's 52.5 in the first year. Notice that says year. That's not, if you're going to say the salaries for 2,756 hours, it has to be well documented, because the norm is 2,912 hours. So you would divide that salary by 2,912. That's not quite as accurate as the way I'm doing it, but it's close. So I've got some things I can show you. I can read some things real quick. In one meeting, Jeff said 2,912 hours less any vacation time. They work 56 hours a week. And this is a conversation you from the audience had with him. Ronnie calculated that based on the information given, the hourly rate for line 7, first time full-time firefighter, of the salary resolution
Nelson,
form would
I'm going
be
to interrupt you. I think this should go, no, hang on. I think this should go to executive session. This is not the time to go through all this.
Why are you saying that?
Because I said already, we made a mistake.
Let's fix the mistake.
That's what he's asking.
Why do you just keep making mistakes?
That's not what we're trying to do here, Nelson. You know that. What we're trying to do is.
Larry, listen, you sent us a salary resolution with $18.09 on it. You said you only wanted to add 14 cents to it. I got in
I
from.
didn't say I only had one.
That's what you told me.
No.
That's what you told me.
You're wrong, Nelson, and I'm not going to argue with you.
I got home, it was $20.14.
Which is exactly what I told you. Now, let me say this too.
So you're not going to let me, I've got a lot of stuff here.
We don't need to hear it, Nelson. Let me tell you.
Oh, we don't?
We
The
don't.
board, hold it. Board, you don't need to hear it? Are you interested? I've got definite
say
proof that this was intended to be. I've got him saying it was early on. I've got his email. I've got respected people in the industry saying how it's supposed to work. Do you care about any of that? Or is it okay for a fire chief to tell us in board meetings, things that this is for a year, and there won't be overtime, it's incorporated, and then it goes into administration, and they put it in to a different way as just a 27 or 26, and then we've been paying them double for that 156 hours for 3 years. It's been wrong all the time. We're paying double on our commitment to the base salary for INPRS because Jeff Wilson did that. There's a lot of wrong stuff down here. I'm trying to fix it. And I thought it was a good solution. I thought Larry was getting off on the right foot. 1890, that's an increase. And let's move forward and forget all this. I've got another alternative to deal with all this, but I don't want to go down that road.
Let me say this about policy. Nancy talked about policy. This form is not policy.
Let's get up,
No, you said I could.
we're doing a salary resolution.
That's what
Larry,
this is about, okay? So let me say this.
do you have proof that this was intended? No, just let me ask you this. If you can do this, do you have proof that this salary was intended for 2,756 hours and not 2912?
No, I don't.
I know you don't, because it never happened. It was not
Nelson,
intended.
I've also told you in a private meeting, I've also told you that you can do it either way legally and that you just have to have a policy. Now, what I don't understand.
Yeah, you could have back then.
Let me finish. When it comes to policy, we've been doing salary resolutions for 3 years now, correct? Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that correct? Yes. Has any board member ever asked me about policy in relation to payment, to wages? No, never, in 3 years. Now, all of a sudden, we want policy before we even make a decision. Now, I'm all for policy, don't get me wrong, but you can't all of a sudden change the ship in midstream.
We're learning and we're seeing the error of our ways.
I understand that, Nelson. What I'm saying though is, there is plenty of blame on both sides of the boat, okay? You can't sit here and point fingers when we didn't know, you didn't know that we needed to do a policy on that. Now, we found that out, and I've talked to the attorney, and yes, you can do it both ways. Does a major portion of fire departments do it one way? Quite possibly. But we can do it both ways.
I'm okay with us not having the policy. I'm okay with us learning in our jobs. What I'm not okay is everything I've got says this was pitched to the board as being paid for 2,912 hours. I've got it all over the place. And now I find out it's being done in payroll to pay 2,756 hours. And they've been paid 156 hours, that part of it overtime, part of it straight time, but 156 hours extra of pay. And I think we ought to fix that now, and we could fix it with the resolution we just did last week. I don't know, Larry, why you had all this time to come up with that 1890 and a week later, I don't know if you're being pressured by people. I don't know what's going on.
Because I was under the same assumption that you are under, Nelson.
Not an assumption.
It is an assumption. We all assumed that it was all salary included overtime.
I was dealing with
and
facts,
straight-
Larry, not assumption.
All right.
I got them if you want them all
No,
read
I don't.
or board. I don't
guys-
mean you.
guys go ahead.
This is a board meeting. You
guys
can't
go
stop us.
I know we can't. You go ahead.
So
Okay, Matthew, you want to hear a whole lot more, or have you heard enough? You get any idea, or?
I'm definitely getting ideas. I'm always up and open to data, and as it's appropriate, as it makes sense. Just so I can summarize where it is up to this point, so I can absorb anything else that comes through. A mistake was made, and we're trying to
Could have been a
rectify.
mistake.
Come again?
Yeah.
Yeah, in general, there was a mistake made, and we're trying to find a way to resolve that mistake. One path is to just meet it where it was and move forward. Another path is to go back to what we agreed to before. In my mind, that's what it is. I may be off, but I'm just trying to summarize where we are. So from what I understand, this path here that's being presented by the trustee
Tonight.
is we had overlooked this for X amount of years, and this is how it's been. And we're just really trying to, with what's presented, kind of meet it where it was, say, yeah, we made a mistake, but we're not going to take away from who's here now. Let's just move forward with the way it is, and that's that. That is what I feel is being presented. Do you mind if I ask the trustee if that's his intention? Would that be fair to you?
Yeah, you can ask trustee.
That is our intention. Also, by going to the hourly, we do away with all the salary stuff. We don't have to worry about it.
That was the going to be a follow-up, but he just went into my follow-up question. If we were to approve this, is this getting rid of the salary and this is the new hourly rate?
Yes.
Except that you
Yeah.
have to tell MPERS
Yeah.
what your certified salary is for your third class or first class firefighter. And that is a salary. They don't go by an hourly rate. And I asked MPERS, how do you convert an hourly rate to the correct correct salary? And we don't tell you how to do that.
You send the time PRS, you're gonna send the last highest one we had, you can't lower it. Send them that. But at any rate, okay,
So
now to make, just to clarify thing, this didn't just happen. I've been
Except that
pleased to have this.
the hourly rate on this salary you signed last week is lower than what they're paid an hour now.
I have been
now you're saying
harping on
hourly
this for
rate,
a long time,
certified
the
salary's
trustee,
higher.
to get this corrected. Here's an email from April 17, 2023. And so had a question to Larry about, I said, Larry, I need one point of clarification in your statement. I'm sure you're aware how salary positions work. He said, we don't get paid overtime. Confuses me. I said, are you saying because you put the firefighters on salary, they should not get paid overtime? And Larry said, Nelson, firefighters on a different type of salary. Their straight time and overtime is rolled into one figure for the purpose of defining their annual wages. The rest are on true salary. Now, that was how he thought it worked then, okay? Because that's how Jeff Wilson presented it to us. I don't know, I'm guessing Jeff Wilson maybe told Tina how to enter it. None of us knew anything, and I think he advised her to do it differently. Now, to Larry's credit, he followed up and said, the same day, several hours later, and said, the salary does not include FLSA overtime. That is why I call it a modified salary. In the future, the salary will include the overtime. He said this on April 17, 2023. We know what approximate overtime is for a full-time firefighters for 1 year, so it is easy to calculate annual earnings per firefighter. We will make it clear as possible in the future. And so we're still doing it the same way here going into 2026. This did not get done. Now, either Larry misspoke, in the first email, but I think it does show that I think he thought, just like all the rest of us, that it was bundled together.
Mhm.
Well,
And I've got lots of other stuff and
I'm gonna say,
Yeah, I'd like to
when
hear from
I
Dawn,
was just a
please.
member of the public, I did ask multiple times when Jeff Wilson was presenting this, and I had copies of the board and stuff, and he would not divulge how he was coming at that figure. And it didn't come about until after he quit and left, and he came up with this PowerPoint thing. So I don't know how it was conveyed to Tina to do it. I have no idea on that. And if we had been at full staff, it would have shown on our budget glaringly. Unfortunately, we weren't, because we were being plagued with people coming and going. And so it wasn't real obvious.
that was not factored into the
No, it
budget.
wasn't obvious
It was
until,
not obvious to anybody
right.
looking at a report. I don't know, it is now.
It is now. Now we know.
It is now because, when I went in, when I talked to Larry the other day, I said, I want to see it backed into that number. And that's when it was like, we've been paying overtime
My take on this is
additionally.
we've been accused of if we do this, if we give them 18.9, we're taking money away from them. I don't view it that way. If you look at the weight of what it should have been, they're getting an increase, okay? A 2.5% increase. What we are not taking money away from it. What's going to happen is they're going to get less money because they're not going to be paid double. They're going to be, not going to be paid twice for the 156 hours that could be potential overtime. They call it FLSA. They're just referring to the
But my
fair
thing
labor.
is, this is not their fault. And they are kind of being penalized if we go with the salary resolution we signed last week. They are gonna lose money and they are being penalized.
All right.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying,
Yeah, no, that's
I
good.
mean,
You're board member, you got your
well,
opinion.
I mean, but,
I said what I want to say. I got a lot more, but it's not going to do any good to go over it.
well, I mean, that
About
is my
how it's supposed
thoughts.
to be, because you're not interested how it's supposed to be.
No,
it's
I
just not
know.
fair to.
I understand.
Okay. All right.
I understand.
I did the best I did what I thought was right
I
here
know.
tonight.
I
I
understand
really
that.
did.
I feel like the board member, Don had just brought up an opinion. And
Yeah.
that's all that's happened, and this is a pretty wild reaction to that, but I believe,
No,
Yeah.
my reaction is that I'm not going to keep going through that because I can see that
No.
what I did provide in facts
Uh-huh.
is not, she's looking at
No.
it a little differently at what the impact on the firefighters, and I respect that.
it's one perspective,
You're
there's multiple,
misreading me.
there's
That's why I
multiple
followed this up.
perspectives, yeah.
What's the point in me keep taking up time
No,
in this board
I-
meeting, reading all these?
I
Sure,
do think
I'm
it
with
was
you.
wrong.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
it's been
I think you
wrong.
guys,
I think it's been
believe me,
wrong.
that's the industry standard. It's
Yeah.
for 29 and 12, and they're using 27.6.
Yes, I do.
And if they're going to use 26, the industry says that needs to be very well documented and run past your lawyer. I know it's not documented. I don't know if they ran it
Well,
past the lawyer or not.
My thing to you is, a lot of those people that were being paid this over those years are not even here.
Right.
But the ones that are here, you know,
Yeah, I mean, they're
They-
short term. They're just getting started. It's not like
yeah, I mean,
they
they
got
didn't,
tons of money
they
to
were
lose.
not aware.
The taxpayers, on the other hand, have lost tens of thousands on this. I got a spreadsheet shows that, but nobody cares about
No,
taxpayers.
I do care. But I mean, we can't go back and correct that.
We can
No,
go
I-
back and
Money
correct
from the
that,
grant.
and
So
We
do
can't correct
we,
that.
do we penalize the ones that are here now?
How's that penalize them until we're not gonna pay them double? I don't understand that.
It's not that we're not paying them double.
That's what
It's
we're
that
doing
we
now.
are trying to give them a small increase.
Small,
Yes, it is a small.
I wanna tell you something. The hourly rate in 2022 was $15 an hour. Bringing this to $20.14 is a 34% increase in 3 years.
I
That's an
understand.
8.5% pay increase for every year that we've given them. And,
I
you know,
understand
when the
that.
national average, I haven't checked this year, but last time I checked, it's about 3%. Social Security's 2.5%.
I
We're giving
know,
them
I know that. I'm
8.5.
asking, have you sit here and went through every township that's around us and what they're paying? So then how do you come?
we
up with-
hired,
I didn't say for
No, no,
townships,
I
I said
know,
that
but I mean, I'm
national
just
average
trying to
of pay.
say,
our new hires is what I'd refer to them as, the people who hasn't been here this whole time, the 3 years getting this.
Yeah.
Were hired based upon the hourly rate and what they had at the time. They didn't get the raises over time.
This is our tenure. of the
They
people.
came right in at this. If we were to catch this within a few months or 6 months, even within that year, rectify.
Yeah.
But we've set a precedent though
yeah,
for
we did
several
set a
years.
precedent because we didn't catch it until now.
And what I
it's
like
been
about this
overpaid
is
for
that it
3
takes away
years.
that salary portion and it makes it more manageable and easier at that hourly
Yeah,
rate.
salary's
As
the worst
opposed
thing
to
ever happened.
the one position that we
agree.
need to keep salary.
Yeah, I agree with you. Salary's the worst thing
I
ever
mean, we
happened.
should have never, and Jeff Wilson, he just was not an honest person.
I think it meets them where they are. Wash our hands of the mistakes of
Yeah.
Had a bunch
yesteryear.
of rummies on the board. We didn't know anything, you know. We thought it sounded
And
okay.
I
Took
do,
his word
I
for a lot of
do
stuff.
agree, we need policies, and maybe it's
100%.
not something we're going to have tonight to do the salary resolution, but we are gonna have new policies, and the board is gonna get the opportunity to have some input or just to offer our advice. And I think the three of us have been in different industries to go forward to offer some very good critiques
And I
for
take that,
policy.
I take that like needing policy to go along with resolutions and such very seriously, and will be requesting
I mean,
even more.
it's not that I want to do that, but I don't think it's fair to the employees that are here.
I agree. And to that,
And we're not going 4%.
are we open for a motion? Or are we done with
Well,
discussion?
initially, we were talking about a 4%
Now we're
increase on
going
the
8.5.
budget. No,
Okay.
Do we feel that we have had enough discussion and open for
I
a
don't
motion?
have anything else to say.
Don, would you be open to one?
Let's see.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
Make a
I have
motion
say
to
it, I
adopt
guess.
the,
Do I have a motion?
yes, I have a, make a motion to adopt this as
Do I have a
presented.
second? All in
Second.
favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Nay. Let the board, let the minutes reflect that. I'm looking.
I did.
I forgot I'm about to put all my stuff up too quick. Like I said, I'm not in the best
I did.
mental state here.
All right.
All right. Hey, it's just business, folks.
And I don't know on this.
Everybody's got an opinion, it should be respected.
So, do you put over here nay
Oh, yeah.
for this one? Well, we don't have it on. We don't have a nay section.
Come again?
So do you want to put nay over here and sign your name?
Absolutely.
Well, no, I mean, I figured you would, but we didn't have it on there.
Huh.
And then, do you have another one, Tina? The salary resolution over there?
There you go.
And then we need Larry's signature.
Yeah. He left the meeting. Elvis has left the house. Determination and announcement of the next meeting, that's, we've already determined that, that's January the 6th, was it?
Yeah, 7
What do you-
PM, Tuesday.
I'm sorry.
Tuesday,
Thank you.
January 6th.
A Tuesday?
I think it's a Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay, that's fine.
When is that? Tuesday the second, I think I already put it in. I'm gonna make sure I have it in here before I walk away.
Let's see. Make sure.
That was the 6th, is that correct?
I think, yeah,
The first Tuesday after the first Monday of the year.
yeah, it's a Tuesday,
Okay,
January 6th, 7 PM. Do you want me to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
no, it's good to order.
Oh,
Nancy,
sorry.
everything you'd like to say?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
shouldn't ask that question.
well, I feel like I really got slammed for mentioning policies. And why would you not have policies in an organization like this? And the timing of it is essential. Why would you not have a policy when you're determining salary resolution or benefits? And I can remember, Matthew, when you were fairly new, and Nelson, you were fairly new, you both asked for documentation to be presented to you at least 10 days in advance. That just gets swept by the wayside. It's very irritating. And then for Larry to slam me for bringing up policies, that's a very low grade.
Trudy?
Probably a lot of you are aware of this already, that there's no tax on tips and there's gonna be no tax on overtime. So that'll be a little bit of a benefit for the firemen as well on their tax return that they'll file in 2026. That's all.
Okay. Board comment, Matthew?
Yes.
Don? I have nothing. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. All in
Third
favor, say
that.
aye. Aye.
8:08. Did you second it? Who seconded it?
He seconded, I thirded
Okay.
it.
By the way, she mentioned.
I know that's not a real thing, but I really.
Well, it's like, I'm sitting here trying, and then it's like, all right, who was it that said what?
No, that's the hardest part, can be. Thank you for the.
Policy that allows
If you don't have the policies before you make the decisions, you're not gonna get a policy. It hasn't happened in 3 years. None.
You know what?
That was promised at first meeting.
We're
I think
gonna-
we had
We're going
on
to,
policies for everything.
I made the comment at the last meeting.
Policies are good. They make you sit down and read it and go over
fire
it and you
Chief
start
said
seeing
we
all
would
these
have them in
flaws.
January.
Leaves
You
the
know,
room
yes, I
out
heard that.
for question,
So
it's just black and white.
And then let somebody else look
I'm
at
going
it.
to.
They see the
And
flaws.
if you wanna be negative, you can be
I'm big
negative.
on
I'm gonna be
written
positive, and I'm gonna hope for
documentation.
Well, we'll
change.
see
It's
who comes
something
out.
that I.
Spell everything out, whether it's
Do what?
agreements at home or anything.
We haven't had, we don't have
I
policies
understand
that you can look at.
Do you-
If you had a policy on
And
the
I have
salaries.
asked and asked, and I continue to ask.
I know.